You check your bank account again, nothing came in. You stare at the screen like maybe it just didn't load, maybe it's late, maybe it'll be there in an hour, maybe. But you already know, this is the second missed payment, or the third, and suddenly, you're not just worried about money, you're worried about what this means. You've got rent, groceries, a sick kid, and the person who agreed legally to support their child just decided not to. No explanation, no heads up, just silence. And now your brain is doing what brains do under stress. Panic. You start thinking, do I message them? Do I call a lawyer? Is it worth the fight? What do I even say? Or worse, you start blaming yourself. Maybe if I hadn't pushed so hard. Maybe I should have agreed to less. Maybe this is just how it goes. But here's the truth, you are not crazy. You are not overreacting. And this is not just how it goes. This is a form of financial control. And whether it's happening out of neglect, spite, or chaos, it's not your job to fix them, but it is your job to protect yourself. This video isn't about what should happen, it's about what you can do, right now, to stay calm, get strategic, and stop bleeding energy chasing someone who isn't doing their part. Let's start with what most people get wrong. When someone stops paying child support, your first instinct might be to confront them. You want to say, "Why haven't you paid? You know the bills are due. You're screwing over your own kid." And emotionally, that makes sense. You're frustrated, you're scared. You want them to know you're not just going to roll over. But here's the problem. You're treating it like a moral issue, and they're treating it like a power play. They already know the payment is late, they already know you're depending on it, that's why they're doing it. And the more you chase them, beg them, argue with them, the more control they feel they have. So here's the shift. Don't confront, document, because the only thing worse than a missed payment is burning your own energy trying to force someone to care. Start keeping records. Every missed payment, every ignored message, every excuse, or lack of one. Don't yell, don't guilt, don't plead. Use silence as leverage. Let their inaction build your case. This doesn't mean you're giving up, it means you're playing the long game. Because if you ever need to escalate, to court, to enforcement agencies, to mediation, you'll need proof, not emotion. And if they ever claim you're the problem, you'll have a calm, clean paper trail that says otherwise. This is how you shift out of reaction mode and into power. The first real move isn't legal, it's logistical. You need a place to track what's actually happening, not just in your head, not scattered across texts or emails. One clean, printable record. Here's what to log. The due date of each payment, the amount expected, whether it was paid, yes or no, the date you received it, if at all, any communication you sent or received. Even if you don't plan to take legal action now, this record is power. Because if months pass and emotions flare, you'll forget dates, they'll deny things, and you'll wish you had proof. If you're not ready for a full spreadsheet, print out a basic form, stick it in a folder, update it once a week. Why? Because this isn't just about money, it's about predictability. When payments stop, your brain enters survival mode. Everything feels unstable. Even if you figure it out this month, you don't know about next month. And that uncertainty drains you. A log won't solve the missing payment, but it will give you back a sense of order. It helps you see patterns, it builds your case, and it shifts your energy from chaos to clarity. You're not spiraling, you're tracking. And when you track, you start making clearer decisions, not just emotional ones. This is how you start regaining control, one documented fact at a time. Let's talk about enforcement. This is where most people either lose steam or lose hope. You hear stories like, "They never paid a dime and got away with it. The court didn't do anything. He just quit his job to avoid garnishment. She moved out of state and disappeared." And yes, the system is flawed. It's underfunded, slow, and sometimes seems like it protects the wrong people. But here's what most people don't realize. There is a system, and it works better if you know how to use it. Every U.S. state has a child support enforcement office. They can open a case, if one isn't already open, monitor payments, trigger wage garnishment, suspend licenses, drivers professional, even hunting fishing, intercept tax refunds, place liens on property. In some cases, issue arrest warrants. And you don't always need a lawyer to activate them. You can go directly to your state's child support enforcement website and file a request for enforcement. It takes time, it takes documentation, but it's a real step and it's better than waiting for them to do the right thing on their own. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about revenge. It's not about getting back at them. It's about creating real-world consequences that make avoidance harder than compliance. Because if someone knows they can skip payments and all that happens is a text from you, they'll keep doing it. But when the consequence is a suspended license or seized refund, they start thinking twice. You can't force someone to be responsible, but you can make irresponsibility inconvenient. And that's how the tide starts to turn. Now comes one of the trickiest parts. What do you actually say to your ex? If communication is still open, or required by court order, you might be tempted to let it all out. But before you do, remember this. Anything you say can become a screenshot, and anything they say might already be strategic. So here's your baseline rule. Keep it clean, simple, and calm. Use neutral language like, just checking. Child support was due on the 1st. I haven't received it yet. Let me know if there's an issue on your end. I'll be documenting missed payments moving forward. That's it. No accusations, no emotional bait, no, you always, or you never. Why? Because every dramatic message you send becomes their excuse. To say you're unstable, to claim you're harassing them, to paint you as the problem. And that can muddy your case even if you're 100% in the right. The goal here isn't to win the text fight. It's to protect your power and your credibility. If you use a parenting app, like Our Family Wizard or Talking Parents, message through there, it timestamps everything, and courts trust it more than screenshots or phone logs. If you don't have an app, create a separate folder for communication. Save everything, the calm messages you sent, and the unhinged replies they might give back. You're not just messaging for today, you're creating a pattern a judge or caseworker can later see. This isn't about being cold, it's about being unshakable. Let their chaos speak for itself while you stay consistent, quiet, and clear. Let's be honest, even if you're documenting everything, following the rules and staying calm, the money still isn't there. If this is helping you feel less alone or just a little more in control, tap like and subscribe. It helps this reach other people going through the same thing right now. So, what do you do right now? This week, this month, to keep going when support has stopped? Step 1. Stabilize the non-negotiables. What has to be covered? No matter what. This usually means rent or mortgage, utilities, basic groceries, transportation for work or school, childcare, if it's what allows you to earn. List those out first. Circle the ones you can't reduce or delay. Step 2. Create a survival budget. Forget perfect, forget long-term planning. You're not optimizing, you're stabilizing. Ask, what can I cut for now? What subscriptions or extras can pause? Can I defer any bills or payments without major penalties? Step 3. Trigger your emergency options. Can a local nonprofit help with rent or groceries? Does your state offer temporary TNF or food assistance? Can you pick up 1-2 small gigs this week, like tutoring, pet sitting, or delivery? Just to cover a gap, this isn't a life plan. It's a bridge. You're not failing because you need help. You're not weak because you're patching it together. You're surviving something that shouldn't be happening, but is. And here's the most important part. You are allowed to ask for help without explaining your ex's failures. Your worth isn't tied to how well you mask someone else's irresponsibility. It's tied to the fact that you keep showing up, even when it's unfair, unplanned, and unrelenting. That's not weakness, that's power. One of the hardest parts of all this? Your child sees something is off. Even if you try to hide it, kids feel stress. So the question becomes, how honest should you be? Here's the rule. Be real, but don't transfer the weight. Your child doesn't need to know every detail. They don't need to know you're panicking or that the rent's at risk. They don't need to carry your anger or your exhaustion. What they do need is truth that feels safe. Here's a way to say it. There's been a delay in some of the money we expected. That means we're being extra careful with what we spend this month. You're safe, and we're figuring it out. It's simple, it's grounded, and it gives them structure, not panic. If they ask about the other parent and you're co-parenting in name only, try, That's something the adults are working on. You don't have to worry about that part. My job is to take care of you, and I'm on it. They might push. They might sense there's more. But your job is to give them a foundation, not pull them into the emotional mud. And remember, you don't owe your ex protection. But your child deserves peace. Trash-talking the other parent might feel good in the moment, but it puts your child in an impossible bind. Let the silence speak where it needs to. Let your steadiness do the talking. Because one day, when they're older, they'll remember not what you said, but how safe they felt when everything around them was uncertain. You didn't choose this. You didn't ask to become a financial detective, a legal strategist, and a one-person stability machine, all while trying to heal from the emotional damage that came before this. But here you are, still standing, still figuring it out, still trying to protect your child's sense of safety, while yours has been shaken to its core. So let's end with this. You are not crazy. You are not dramatic. And you are not alone in this fight. There are thousands of people, probably watching this video right now, who are in the exact same place. Fighting for enforcement, tracking missed payments, wondering how they're going to stretch this month's groceries. The difference isn't in how overwhelmed you feel, it's in how you move anyway, with calm, with clarity, with a record, with a refusal to let someone else's irresponsibility define your chaos. You deserve rest, you deserve a plan, and you deserve a system that works better than this. Until then, build your own. And if this video helped you at all, hit like and subscribe. This channel exists to say the quiet things out loud, especially when no one else is saying them. We're not here to blame, we're here to rebuild. Have you ever had to chase support payments? What helped you stay steady, or what would have helped if you had it? This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not provide legal, financial, or professional advice. Always consult a qualified attorney or expert regarding your specific situation. We are not liable for actions taken based on this content.